Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, UFL week number 5 is tonight. Alright, last week picks took a little hit. I was 2-2 on straight up picks, 2-2 on the against the spread, 0-4 on the over-under, 4-8 overall. Year to date, 10-6 on the straight up picks, 7-9 against the spread, 8-8 on the over-under, 25-23 overall, 52%. So I took a big hit last week. Let's see if we can get that back up this week. All right, first game tonight of week 5 of the UFL. So after this week, we'll be halfway through the regular season. The DC Defenders are 3-1, taking on the 1-3 Birmingham Stallions. The Defenders are scoring 31.8 points a game, the highest in the UFL this year. They had the second lowest defensive points allowed at 17.8, while the Stallions 16.2 scoring, which is 8th in the league of 8 teams, 4th on defense at 21.2. Overall offense yardage, they are 6th in offense and first in defense at 248.2, while the Stallions are 7th in offense at 270 yards per game. They're 8th in defense at 310.2 yards a game. 68 first downs. They're 43% on third down for the Defenders. The Stallions with 61 first downs. They are at 34% for third downs. Both teams have had 219 offensive plays. Only 9 yards separate these two teams on offense. 1,089 for the Defenders, 1,080 for the Stallions. What makes that insane is the Stallions are 1-3. And DC is 3-1, but that's why that defense is so important. Giving up almost 5 points less per game, the Defenders are. DC is favored by 6.5, and over under 45.5. I got the DC Defenders winning, covering. I am taking over on that 45.5 because this could be that game that both teams can put some points on the board. Stallions defense, only 4th best on points, only 8th on defense of yards, but DC is 6th in yards, so they can put some points up. Next up, we have the 2-2 St. Louis BattleHawks versus the 4-0 Orlando Storm. 4th in points scored at 21.8 for the BattleHawks. Defensively, they're 6th, giving up 24.8. The Storm is 4th, tied for 4th. They actually scored 21.8 points per game, but their defense is the best with 13 points average per game given up. That's why Orlando is 4-0. BattleHawks are 8th in yards. They're 2nd in defensive yards given up, while Orlando is 1st in offensive yards at 307, 5th in defense at 283. 71 first downs, a 36% third down for Orlando. 56 first downs for the BattleHawks, 26% on third down. That's why one team is 4-0 and one team is 2-2. Total plays, 234 for Orlando with 1,228 yards. The BattleHawks only 217 plays for 997 yards. And Orlando is favored by 3 here, so I got them winning, covering, and under on the 45.5. But this is that one game of the weekend I think could go either way. You can make a case for the BattleHawks to win. You can make a case for Orlando to win. I am going to go ahead and pick Orlando, but the way my picks have been going the last couple weeks, maybe St. Louis wins this one. Next up, we have the battle of the 1-3 teams. The 1-3 Columbian Aviators versus the 1-3 Houston Gamblers. You have the 7th most points scored in the game per average at 17.0 by the Gamblers, but they're giving up 31.2 points a game, which is 8th in the league. While the Aviators scored the 3rd most points at 23.2 points a game, giving up the 7th most at 27.2. So 2 of the worst defenses. Yardage, 7th in the league, 307, given up by the Gamblers. 4th by the Aviators at 283. But the Aviators do have the 3rd best offense at 299.2 yards per game, while the Gamblers are 4th at 296. So both teams have a little bit of offense there. Total plays, both teams have 245 for the Columbus, 250 for the Houston Gamblers. 1,184 yards for the Gamblers, 1,194 yards for the Aviators. Yeah, this could be a very interesting game. And that's why Columbus is favored by 4.5. I got them winning and covering. I'm taking over on the 45.5. Because I don't think either one of these defenses can stop anyone. And then the fourth and final game of the weekend, we have the 1-3 Louisville Kings taking on the 3-1 Dallas Renegades. Dallas, the second most yards per game, 302.8, giving up the third most at 277. Dallas has scored the second most points through 27.2 points per game, giving up the third most at 20.8. 45% of third downs for the Renegades with 74 first downs, while Louisville, fifth in yards at 251.5, sixth in points at 18.2. They're giving up the fourth most at 21.2. Defensively, they're sixth at 294.5 yards. Only 55 first downs. I believe that is the worst, but only one behind the BattleHawks. 31% on fourth down. That is almost the worst. Only the BattleHawks are worse. 218 plays for both teams. Beyond BattleHawks, they are the worst. They have the fewest plays on the year. 1,211 yards for the Renegades and 1,126 yards for the Kings. Dallas at home is favored by 7.5. I got them winning, covering. I'm taking under on the 47.5. So recap here, I got DC winning, covering the 6.5, and over on the 45.5. The Orlando Storm winning, covering the 3 points, under on the 45.5. The Columbus Aviators winning, covering the 4.5, over on the 45.5. And then the Renegades winning, covering the 7.5, and under on the 47.5. So I got 2 games that are going to be over, 2 games that are going to be under. We'll see how that floats out at the end of this, but this is week 5, halfway through the UFL 2026 season. I know there's talk of next year expansion and eventually getting to like almost 32 teams. I don't know about that. I know if the idea is to have football year round, it will work because you can literally just run it from March through August, and then the NFL takes over in September. I don't think we need to try to be as big as the NFL. I don't know if the UFL will be able to do that. Now, what I would like to see, I think would be very interesting to do, is during the summer months, is do a relationship with the CFL. Is if they could do, maybe play a few, like every how many, there's 9 CFL teams. Maybe, at least 8 teams play at least one game versus the CFL, or 9 teams. If they expand more, I think that would be interesting, kind of do that border war stuff. Maybe like in-season tournament inside the seasons for both of them. And maybe have some bragging rights and something on it, but just an idea. But that is UFL Week 5. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports content.